Thanks, Dr. J.Pun Liu, for introduction. My name is Atsushi Ijuin. Today, I would like to talk to you about my idea, how Japan can prepare for Korean unification. The subject of this session is international roles and Korean unification. However, to tell the truth, in Japan, there is little interest in the question of Korean unification, and it is not even a specific foreign policy concern at the political level. Over the last few years, concern among the Japanese public regarding the Korean Peninsula has focused on North Korea's nuclear and missile development and abduction of Japanese nationals, not on Korean unification. But I personally think that, as far as Japan is concerned, the question of Korean unification is certainly not somebody else's problem. This is because the timing and the format of Korean unification will directly affect Japan's national interests. As the Northeast Asian situation becomes increasingly fluid, one cannot entirely discount the possibility that the situation will evolve, whether Japan likes it or not. The best scenario for Japan would likely be for the Kim Jong-un regime to resolve to abandon its nuclear program and follow a path toward reform and greater openness. Inter-Korean relations would improve, leading to an expansion in exchange and cooperation. Following a period of peaceful coexistence between North and South, as a structure for peace is established, the two Koreas would, by mutual agreement, follow the path to unification based on respect for freedom, democracy, and a market economy. North Korea's diplomatic relations with Japan and the US would be normalized during this process, leading to warmer relationship between them. In this scenario, these developments would have a synergistic effect, leading to Japan developing closer relations with both Koreas and building a good relationship with the Korean Peninsula following a peaceful unification. The least desirable scenario would be one in which North Korea pushed forward with its nuclear and missile development and headed down the path toward economic collapse. North Korea would ignore voice of international society and become increasingly isolated. Having lost any room for maneuver both at home and on the diplomatic stage, the Kim Jong-un regime would engage in extreme behavior in an effort to survive. Risky actions would have the potential to trigger another war on the Korean Peninsula, and the possibility of an internal coup d'etat in North Korea could not be entirely discounted. I introduced discussions in Japan about Korean unification in my paper. Some are affirmative in Korean unification, and some are negative. There are also those who take cautious views on Korean unification. Quite a few people in Japan feel nebulous sense of alarm about the prospect of a nation with a population of 75 million springing up right next door. There are also concerns that the post-unification state might be more favorable, inclined towards China than to Japan or the US. Would a unified Korea maintain South Korea's military alliance with the US or dissolve it? What kind of relationship would it build with China? Quite a few commentators express anxiety about the possibility that Japan's security environment might deteriorate if the Korean unification process and the post-unification stages foreign and security policies destroy the power balance between major states in East Asia. Such anxiety and worry should be swept off before unification in Korean Peninsula. I think that denuclearization in Korean Peninsula is the most important. A unified Korea must achieve denuclearization before unification and aspire to be a non-nuclear state after unification. Achieving denuclearization prior to unification and adopting a clear stance that post-unification Korea would continue to be a non-nuclear country seems to be a prerequisite. Japan's colonial rule of the Korean Peninsula came to an end with its defeat in World War II. Most of Japanese people think that Japan is not in a position to play a leading role in Korean unification. However, there are those who take the view that Japan's importance should not be underestimated, both in terms of the role of US military bases in Japan in any military operation preceding unification and in providing extensive economic support before and after unification. Today, with tensions rising on the Korean Peninsula, the most pressing issue is finding a solution to the North Korean nuclear and missile issue to ensure the peace and stability of the region. This problem is expected to take considerable time to resolve peacefully. What is needed is the creation of an effective scenario for the solution of the North Korean WMD issues and the achievement of regional peace and stability. Among the dialogue aimed at creating scenario in which the major countries concerned can work together. Korean unification would be a continuation of that process. If South Korea aims to achieve unification, dialogue with its partner, North Korea, is essential. South Korean initiatives will only proceed smoothly if carried out with the cooperation and support of Japan and the United States. With its shared key ideas, political and economic systems, and fundamental principles. The cooperation and support of China and Russia will also likely be required. In addition to North-South talks, a variety of other frameworks are likely, including US-South Korea, Japan-South Korea, Japan-US, Japan-US-South Korea, and Japan-US, China, South Korea, Russia, and so on. Moreover, Mongolia, which has diplomatic relations with all major countries, including North Korea, has indicated its willingness to provide a venue for talk among the countries of Northeast Asia. To encourage a candid discussion aimed at peace and stability of the region, dialogue between the countries concerned should be undertaken not only at the track 1 level, but also at a variety of other levels, including track 1.5 and 2. North and South and major countries, including Japan, should be actively involved in this dialogue with an eye to the future. Thank you very much for kind attention.